Hey everyone, welcome back to another Anime Kingdom review, and as you can see, guess what? It's Sunday, which means, yep, this is on episode 25 of ReZero. This review is on episode 25 of ReZero, and guess what? That is the last episode. No! What will I do without my weekly fix of ReZero? I do not know, honestly. Like, literally, I gotta say, this whole ride for this anime has been amazing. Like, literally, definitely one of my top 10 favorite animes of all time. I will literally admit that. And honestly, we haven't even seen what animes are coming in the next season. You know, we haven't watched it yet. I don't know yet. But I'm already calling it. I already called it before summer season even started, just by how good the first half was. And the second half was just as amazing. But I honestly think that there doesn't matter what anime comes out in fall. I honestly think that ReZero is literally the best anime of this year, hands down, no doubt about it. I don't think anything can compare to it. Like, literally, this anime has just been an amazing ride, enjoyable for me. We've been through our ups, we've been through our downs, a lot of downs, I gotta admit, but like, in the end, this episode literally just made it all feel a lot better, and just like the way it ended was amazing in my opinion. I know I heard there was this huge thing on the forums that they skipped a part, like a huge part that they should have put in, kind of thing. But I'll get into more about that as I get to the last part of the episode. But I honestly feel that the way they ended it for Anime Watcher only is completely fine by me. I think it was amazing the way they ended it, But yeah, just literally this anime, this season overall has been amazing. We've cried, we've smiled, oh my gosh, felt like shit for like quite a while. Like, there was a point, like I said, I felt like we were on a never ending damn feels train, and I was like, oh my gosh, literally just despair all around. When am I gonna get some joy? And it's come and get back down, it's come. And the way they ended it, honestly, I was literally really scared if we'd be ended with like some type of cliffhanger that makes us feel like shit. But the way they ended it was literally, it was such a beautiful moment that even as a person, like I said, like throughout how long, I've definitely, honestly seen Rem as like the best girl in my opinion. Like I said before, I loved Amelia at the beginning, and I still do love her. I feel that Rem is honestly the best girl no matter what, and they haven't showed enough yet to make a difference for Amelia. But the way it ended, it made it all feel right in my opinion. Like, even as a Rem fan, you should be happy about this, just for the fact that obviously he rejected Rem for already. There's nothing you can do about that. But I mean, wouldn't you rather him reject her and then at least everything goes well in the end, that he ends up, kind of getting his feelings out there to Amelia, not just, he rejects Rem and then nothing happens, and it seems like he just rejected Rem for no reason, kind of thing. So I honestly still feel closure. I'm still happy about it. And like before I said, I never really, it's not really that I hate Amelia more. It's more that the amount of time they've showed Rem and the amount of things that Rem has done and Amelia has not shown for that makes Rem just literally the best girl in my opinion. If they show more of Amelia in the future, if there is another season, then sure, maybe we will all change our minds, kind of thing. But at this moment, Rem is still the best girl, which is why it's kind of sad though that they didn't even show a glimpse of her in this end of this episode. But yeah, I'll get on to more about that later. Let's talk about the episode overall, how I felt about it, what happened in it. Pretty much it starts off obviously with the epic battle between Subaru and Julius versus Beetlejuice. It wasn't like a super crazy battle. Honestly, I'm going to have to say that none of the battles have been as crazy and exciting and amazing, in my opinion, as the first arc's, battles. They've had some cool battles here and there. The White Whale was amazing. Seeing these last episodes as well was pretty good. Them against Beetlejuice in this one was really good too as well. But honestly, in my opinion, the first arc's action parts in that one was literally legit like my favorite, to be honest. But still, it was cool to see Subaru and Julius, them, connected through that power, able to see all his hands, able to take Beetlejuice out. I was wondering this whole time, what is Subaru going to do? What is he planning on doing to stop, Beetlejuice from going into his body and taking him over this time? Like, I was literally thinking, oh my gosh, okay, that's the main problem. That's the big thing, the reason why the last part didn't end up working, Guess what? He uses Return by Death. And now this is where I get a little iffy on, because Beetlejuice is creepy. He's creepy. And I would just want him to be dead, to be honest, for everything he's been doing, you know? But even you gotta feel a little sorry for him. He's literally devoted his whole life to Satella. He loves her. He was so happy that when he took over her body and he saw Satella there, he's like, oh, my love, I finally get the love. And she just like literally like rejects him, like plain out rejects him, bitch slaps him out of Subaru's body. And I can only imagine the amount of like how he feels right now. Like, oh my gosh. That's why I feel a little bit bad for Beetlejuice. And a little bit more of just like, haha, good for you, stupid, creepy son of a bitch. You deserve it. But, of course, it ends with pretty much Julia stabbing him. He's getting all mad, uses his power to pretty much destroy part of the mountain. And he gets smushed by a rock. Yeah, that was the ending. And you think, hey, the perfect run is over. You've done everything correct up to this point. The only problem last time was, of course, getting taken over by Beetlejuice. This time you were able to stop it, and you were able to kill him. What could go wrong? Oh yeah, right. You forgot one single thing. Guess what? You forgot about the damn fire rocks in one of the carriages. And guess what? Which carriage has it? Of course it's the one with Amelia and the kids are in. Of course it is. Of course it is. So of course, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it wasn't another one, considering they said there's so much in there and so powerful. It is enough to destroy a damn, you know, whole small village. So I'm pretty sure the whole carriages, all of them, would have got destroyed anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But of course, this is the one where, right, you know, Subaru's like, what is he gonna do? What are we gonna do? How can I get there? The land dragon's not fast enough, you know. They can't get there because they're about to get on the highway and everything. But guess what? Otto shows up. He knows what to do. He's like, oh, if you want to trade, I'm like, hey, I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes. Yeah, man, come on. Do you see the circumstances? He will do whatever it takes for Amelia. So yes, please, let's do it. Let's get out of here. So of course, if we find out that Otto is be able to pretty much talk to animals or something, and he knows like a way to get through all of this, like a shortcut. So that was pretty interesting, like him going through the woods, going like crazy, like down a damn mountain, across a bridge, breaking the bridge. If I was like super like, oh, we're gonna die, I'd literally be like that too. I'd be like, dude, what the hell? Who takes this kind of path? When they jumped off the cliff and went down the cliff on the side, I was like, holy fuck, are you crazy? But of course, guess what? Guess what? Right when you think that Beetlejuice can't get any creepier, he can't get any more like just like, ugh, you know? Yeah, he does. He comes out like his face is like plastered on like a spider-like kind of body of what, you know, his unseen hands are made of. And he's just like, ah, my love, coming at him. I'm just like, holy shit. I would shit my pants if I saw that. That is creepy. Come on, Beetlejuice, give up. How are you still alive? What the hell? He's just rushing at him. And of course, there's a little comedy here and there as well with Otto, like, oh, you feel that? You want to protect me? Feel? Whoa, what the hell is that? Sorry, it's like a car stuff. Like, oh, you're gonna protect me all like that? And he's like, stop, you're messing me up from trying to look cool. And I'm just like, Subaru, dude, I gotta admit, you're cool. You don't need to look cool. You're cool at this moment right now, pretty badass. But of course, he ends up getting chased. We have this cool scene of them, you know, him trying to fight him off and everything, while him destroying the carriage and everything. Still has the gospel, pretty much in with his blood, writes the end. I looked online in the forums and stuff, and people said that means the end. To which I saw a ton of memes, to be honest, already made. One of them was, it said, your waifu is shit on it. And I cracked up. I was like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be a ton of memes. There's probably one that's like dicks out for Harambe or something already. Like, there's people out there making stupid shit like that already. But in the end, of course, he is able to take out Beetlejuice, and he also, all this was for Amelia. We have this bunch of moments throughout the episode where Amelia is thinking, you know, about Subaru, like, oh, you know, why is he doing all this for me? That's like one of the big questions that we had, you know, way back in like episode, I don't remember what, episode 13 or 12 or something like that, where they had their huge fight and you felt like shit. You felt like, oh my gosh, Subaru, I fucking hate you. Why are you thinking like this kind of stuff? and she's been one, he didn't have an answer for her. And at least in this episode, when they're having that moment together, he finally admits to his faults. He's, it was all for self satisfaction. It wasn't for her, kind of thing. It was all for him. And finally we're able to see, I love the character development and growth that has gone in for Subaru. Like, literally, he's not like your normal main character. Normally you just be like a badass, save the day, all that kind of stuff. He is weak. He has his faults. He is selfish. He is prideful. Like, we talked about that before as well. Sorry, guys. But yeah, like, literally, finally, in that part, he was able to, say why. When he jumps into the carriage and she's looking at him, he grabs the thing and he's like, because I love you. I was like, finally, you admit it. You tell her. Of course, you have the scene where he runs off on Petritrice. I always forget how to say the name, the land dragon. Honestly, what's weird is the sub say it was a guy, but I hear people in the visual novel say it's a girl, and it's why everyone's like, oh, best girl, yeah, best girl, all right. She saved him. She took the damn blast for him, like, protected him. Like, damn, best girl right there. Sorry, Rem. Sorry, Emilia. That's the best girl. Man, my voice is weird right now. Sorry, guys, about that. But yeah, pretty much he's able to save the day, throw the thing into the tree, and everyone is all good. You see, it's a happy ending. They're in this, nice green area. He wakes up to be able lying down on, Emilia's lap and everything. And they have this heartfelt moment where he's telling everything about how he really feels. He loves her. He's admitting to all his faults at the beginning. And we pretty much get, finally some comfort after seeing what happened, like, shit, half a season ago, really, already. And finally we get all that resolved and everything, some resolve in that, Emilia, she can't believe it at first. Like, she doesn't think she deserves this kind of happiness. And it's honestly such a heartfelt moment that I see a lot of people are like, oh, why'd you put 10 minutes of this in? And like, I'm a Rem fan. But honestly, I love the way they ended it. I love the way they had this. It just made me so happy. And I know that you guys, like, there's a bunch of people who are like, why they took out the most important part, blah, blah, blah. But from what I heard from other people as well, is that if they put in that part, it would have been like such a huge shitstorm that it would have been a sad cliffhanger. And this looks like the way they ended it is more of a way to end. They didn't know for sure if there'd be a second season or not. Now, I'm still hoping they have a second season, like, for sure. Literally, I want a second season. I need a second season. But from what I've heard as well is that the light, we've caught up to where the light novel really is already at the moment. So it could be years till we get, another season. And I'm happy with at least them ending it like this, giving us some closure, giving us some happiness at the end, not giving us some crap. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it ended like that, just feeling like shit. Sure, for a fact there's going to be a season 2, but I don't want that. I'm actually super happy with the way they ended it. I'm sorry, light novel fans who wanted it to end in a shitstorm, but as an anime watcher only, I literally loved the way it ended, loved the way that we got some closure, loved the way that, both Subaru and Emilia could be happy now. I would have wanted some moment with Rem to be shown, but overall, I am so happy with that scene, being able to see, both of them happy, saying, they love each. Well, she's not really in love with him yet, but he's gonna wait for her. It honestly made all of the stuff that happened before, all that depressing, all that horrible shit that Subaru has to go through, all that stuff that he had to go through, all that stuff that we had to feel as well. We finally get that happy ending, and it honestly felt so good. Like, it's one of those things where you go through so much shit, you do so much things, that when you finally get that reward at the end, it just feels all the better. Now, if he just like completely won everything and it was no problem at all, this ending wouldn't have felt like anything. It would have been like, oh, whatever, happy ending, awesome, that's cool. But just because of everything that he had to go through, all the pain he had to go through, all the pain that we had to go through watching it, it just makes this ending so much better. And literally, I honestly loved the way it ended. And honestly, if there's a second season, hopefully there will be. I will be happy with that. If they don't, I'll be sad. But at least the way this anime ended, the way they decided to end it, was honestly a way to make it at least a happy ending. And honestly, cannot say anything more than I definitely enjoyed it and thought it was beautiful. The way, as always, the music in it, beautiful. Voice actors, the way they made it, beautiful. Just overall scenery around them. The moment that we've already seen Rem with her, it's kind of shining and she smiles at the end, and we finally get to see Amelia have that smile as well, and it honestly was so beautiful. Like, as I said before, I was Amelia fan at the start. I told you my reasons for being a Rem fan, and even if I would love to see more Rem, and even if I still think Rem is the best girl, I could not be any happier for Amelia. It was such a beautiful moment for her, and I was literally, I'm not gonna lie, I was tearing up by how beautiful it was. Like, tearing up because of the beautiful tears of joy for the beautifulness of what was happening, and a little bit of tears of sadness because now ReZero is over. It could be years for us to get a season 2. I don't even know if we're ever gonna get an announcement, but honestly, I'm happy for the ride that we've had. Like, literally, it's been a great ride. Honestly, that's all I gotta say for that. But yeah, like, literally, I really wish and hope there will be a second season. Like, it's so sad to think about that. Like, this was probably one of my favorite days, Sunday, being able to wake up and know there's a new episode of ReZero, or oh no, there's a new episode of ReZero. Will it be good or bad? Will it finally be good, kind of thing. Just having, not be able to know. Now I know, like, how a drug addict feels. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna survive without my, weekly fix of ReZero. Oh man, but yeah, let's talk about my review on the season overall. Like, literally, I can't really say anything but just amazing things. Like, literally, from the start to the end. Sure, there was some moments where it did seem like and you know what? No, there was some people that were saying like it was rushed in certain circumstances. Certain things weren't as good. But honestly, in my opinion, from the start to the end, this was literally the best anime that I've watched in such a great while. Like, honestly, I'm gonna give my review like a 9.8, to be honest. Like, I want to give it a 10. I could definitely see myself giving it a 10, but I would say a 9.8 for sure. There's some things that I didn't care for too much, but I still definitely enjoyed it. The animation was amazing. The art was amazing. The voice acting was amazing. I don't normally talk about voice acting, but the way the voice actors did was just an amazing job on making us feel these kind of emotions going on throughout these certain scenes, ups and downs, good and bad. Everything was amazing because of that. The music as well was amazing. It definitely gave us this amazing atmosphere throughout the season. And just like, normally an anime, sure, you got this main character, his character development and growth, and other people as well, you go through a lot. But this one, I feel like it's one of the best character development and growth for a character that I've seen in such a great while. It had such an impact for me to see Subaru go through all this. We go from the beginning where you kind of like Subaru, he's kind of just like you, to be honest. And then you get to this point where you start to hate him. You start to think, oh my gosh, he's selfish. He thinks nothing but himself. And you see him go through all this pain, and then slowly in these last episodes, he's gotten better and better. He's grown. He knows his mistakes. He knows these problems that he had, and he's able to get stronger and become better because of them. And just seeing that, like I said, everything that happened finally at the end, seeing everything go well for him at the end, just literally made everything, the ride, all that bull crap and shit, and like just depressing moments, all feel like it was worth it to get to this point. Like, literally, honestly, I love this anime, everything about it, and that's why I give it like a 9.8, maybe 9.9, maybe a 10. It's like really hard for me to pick. It's definitely between 9.5 and 10. It's hard for me to pick an exact one. I want to give it 10 just because of how amazing it was, but there are some things that it could have been better, but I still think that this was probably my favorite anime, one of my favorite animes of all time, and one of my favorite animes, like, definitely for sure this best anime of the year, for sure, like, no doubt about it. But yeah, that's honestly really all I gotta say. All I gotta say. It was like, what, 19 minutes of this already so far. But yeah, like, literally, this anime is definitely, like, if someone ever asked me for a recommendation of an anime to watch, this will be one of the first ones I will say for sure. Characters are amazing, story was amazing, everything about it was amazing. Voice acting, art, animation, music, just literally, I cannot believe that I was able to, you know, like it's been so long since I've watched an anime that I've enjoyed as much as this one. And I hope you guys feel the same way. If you didn't, then as always, guys, I'm going to end the review here. Hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And like I was going to say, if you guys have different thoughts on how you felt about this episode, how you felt about the anime overall, feel free to comment below. If you agreed with me, if you disagreed, it doesn't matter. I always just want to know how you guys felt about everything, how you guys feel about the way it ended, how do you guys feel about this episode overall, how do you guys feel about the whole season overall. Feel free to comment below your thoughts on that. And yeah, anime watchers only, I want to know specifically about you guys. What did you guys feel about this? Do you feel the same way about how it's fine with the way it ended? You're happy about that kind of stuff? Rem or Emilia fans, how do you feel about it? And of course, light novel readers. Now, please do not put any spoilers on what the shitstorm should have been as you guys wanted it, but please feel free to comment below your thoughts on everything, why you thought that should be put in, why you're or if you're happy that they didn't put in as a light novel reader. Feel free to comment below. I just want to know your guys' thoughts on everything as well. It's always interesting, like I always say, to know what the people who read the source material feeling, how they feel about the adaptation. Because I remember way back for like several ups, like pretty much this whole season, a lot of people have been giving it like really this anime has been amazing for the adaptation. So I want to know how you guys feel about the whole ending, how you guys feel about a possibility of a second season or anything like that, and just your overall thoughts. It'd be awesome to hear. But yeah, that's all I really got to say, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe for more content. Really does help the channel. And yeah, that's all I got to say, guys. So until next time, see ya.